Namaste to all our viewers in Bharat and outside of Bharat. Welcome to yet another episode of The Show Reflections with Vardhan Dharkar, presented by Kala, crazy about literature and arts in association with our strategic partners. Let's talk. A quick reminder that submissions for Kala's anthology, The Pillars of Future, closes on 15 July, and entries are now open for the Kala Literature Awards 2027. If you miss any part of today's conversation, the recording will be available on the Kala YouTube channel at Sanjay Chandra 5376. Now let me welcome guest for today and introduce the guest to you. Our guest today is Miss Waheeda Hussain, poet, author, editor, educator, and author of A Pocketful of Limericks. Welcome, Vaida. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. Good evening to our viewers also.
Thank you. And let's begin our conversation.
Yes, sir.
So, you are from city of Jabalpur. I wanted to ask
Yes.
you, is that writers from smaller towns or from non-metro cities, do they get enough motivation or enough space for showcasing their talent to the readers in India, or they have some difficulty in reaching out to the readers?
This is a very good question, sir. And this is true that coming from the small place, we have lesser reader, lesser audience also. And this is online. I should tell you that it's online, which has provided me to promote my work and to display my work. But here we don't get so much of, or maybe I have not tried enough. But yes, this is a drawback coming from the smaller cities. We don't have much of clubs, we don't have much of sahitya, you can say literature groups maybe. But I'm not in contact with any of the literary groups in Jabalpur, local literary groups in Jabalpur.
Okay. So when you approach the publishers, how do the publishers respond? Is that their response is enthusiastic enough for you to get encouragement, or you find that their approach is in a way slightly negative?
No, here I have been very lucky. The publishers whom I've approached have been very positive. And my even my first book was the one was from the Orissa. The publisher was from Orissa, and he was the part of a literary circle only. And many other poets, they have recommended me for this particular publisher. But my second book was from Author Press, and Author Press is a well-known publisher. It's a well-known publisher, but I did not have any problem regarding. He was kind enough to publish my second book.
Okay, I think that is very encouraging. Is that even writers from the smaller place, they are able to showcase their talent, and I think
Yes, sir.
more particularly with these online platforms, I think it is that much easier as compared to maybe 20 or 30 years back.
True. I agree with you, sir. Because of the online platform only, I was able to showcase myself.
Okay. Is there anything that you think should be done so that the writers from smaller place are able to show their talent or showcase their talent that much better? In a way, I will give you one analogy is that let's say up to 2000 or 2005, cricket was completely dominated by players from Mumbai and Delhi and Bangalore. But if you see today, that has completely changed and almost all
Change.
cricketers are from small towns. So something like that, can it happen to the writing scene as well?
Yes, sir. Why not? The scenario just now you gave me an example. This scenario has completely changed now. Now I am associated with Literary Warriors Group. It is one of the quite known group on the various platforms.
Okay.
Started by Neelam Saxena Chandra. She is the founder of that group or literary circle. And we on Literary Warriors Group, we really encourage budding poets from small towns and villages. It's not like only cities and towns, but even from small villages. So here we are providing platform to these young budding poets.
I think that is
And not well-known poets, I should say. We really encourage people to come forward to display their talents.
That is very encouraging because once that happens and it starts happening and spreading, the real talent which is sitting in towns and villages, it will also start coming to the surface, and our literary scene will be that much more richer.
Yes, sir. And the one thing I have seen, if the seasoned poets, I mean, the poets who are well established, if they are not competitive enough, because if they are, if they are insecure in themselves, they will never promote others.
Yeah.
But the poets, the writers, the authors, if they are secure, and they feel secure, I suppose. So they are the ones who promote others to come up.
Mm.
That is very important. But once that competition comes up and people think, oh, so then it will not happen. So I mean, the poets who are well established, who have a name for themselves, they should come up with more platforms for this, for these young poets, and for the from even I should say poets and writers and authors from small towns and villages.
Yeah, I think that is a very good point that you are making. Is that the authors which are, or the poets who are established, they should give helping hand to those who are now
Yes, that is
starting their
what.
journey.
And I have seen most of the magazines and the good magazines and the good newspaper, look, the national newspaper, they always promote only those writers and authors who are well established. They
Yeah,
want a name for themselves. So that is totally wrong. Why not give chance to others?
yeah.
Even they may be better writers. And I'm sure with so many young talents coming up now these days, people have really started in if
Mm.
you remember, sir, in our times we were not given so much of yeah, encouragement also, or whatever we did on our own. But now there are so many platforms which has come up, and I think so these established ones should also give them chance to showcase their writing talents, because writing and reading is one thing which is really going down. These are the both the things.
Yeah.
People on WhatsApp, the kind of language they write, and of course the reading habit has, sadly, people do not read much these days.
No, I agree with you. I think the reading habits have changed dramatically, and
Yes, sir.
now WhatsApp messages and Twitter messages is what constitutes reading.
Yeah, that is what.
So it has to change for our own sake, for our own improvement. It has to change. But I think the point
Yes,
that you made is very important and very good, encouraging that the established poets and authors are encouraging the budding poets and authors. I
yes,
think
they are. They are.
that is a good sign, and I am
Yeah, I
happy.
spoke about Neelam Saxena. Neelam Saxena Chandra is one of the famous names. You must be knowing her very
Yeah.
well. And she is she has been listed in Forbes also.
Yeah.
And she came up with such a wonderful platform, and she is really doing good work in literature.
Okay. Now, coming to your journey, you are a teacher, educator, and a poet, a writer. So, wanted to know is that how does the poet in you helps the teacher in you, and how does the teacher in you helps the writer in you?
See, that's, I should say, see, basically I was a science student. I did my BSc, but then after my marriage, I continued with my studies and I took literature. And I think so from there, my love for literature started. And then I did my BA and I started teaching. But I have always kept my professional and my separately. I have not tried to sort of mix them up. Even now, also in school, I never promote my books, or I don't. Yeah, I do encourage my students to write,
Hmm.
but I have kept my, I should say, both my passion and my profession life quite separate. I've never tried to mix them.
Okay. Okay. Uh, So, the related question that I wanted to ask you is that what are the qualities that you think are common between a writer and a teacher?
See, a teacher, see, as a poet, like we all know what poetry is all about. Poetry is not only for fun and entertainment. It is, it inspires people, it motivates people, it can act as a mentor to people. Yes. And we have seen, so many, people have been in, if you see the history, people have been writing about issues, about wars they have been writing, and people have been teaching. So it is just like, teaching a student. You're in poetry, it is more wider, you can say. We educate a lot of people. Maybe the classroom, we are limited to only teaching, and teaching only few of them.
Mm.
But poetry is such, you can say, it really reaches far and beyond, far and wide. It has a wide, global, I should say, listeners. And if somebody take away something from your poetry, I think so the job is well done by the poet.
I agree completely with you. Is that what poetry or a poem can convey? Thousand words may not
Yes.
be able to actually.
Literature is a very powerful tool
Yeah.
to convey your thoughts and to convey what is happening in the world. Sometime you must have seen Kushwan Singh. I remember Kushwan Singh. Kushwan Singh was a very good writer. Was a
Mm.
very good author,
Yeah.
and his sarcasm, and the way he used to sort of target
Yeah.
the politics of that time, and in a very humorous and a good manner, and he used to convey. And that is the power of literature. If
Yes.
you're able to convey your thoughts, not only for entertainment but for other issues as well, I think so you are successful as a writer.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you. So, you have contributed to almost, I think, if I remember, 27 national and international anthologies.
Yes, yeah, yeah, about 27. It may be 30 now. Till now, that was the
Okay.
older one. Yeah, 30 national and international anthologies.
So, wanted to understand more about it. Is that what has been your experience and how do you go about doing that? All of that I wanted to understand from you.
See, these basically, these anthologies, the poets, they come together, and they, of course, they contribute to the anthology. And one of the things which I have really learned and how to write a poem
Hmm.
is through the prompts which these anthologies provide,
Okay.
because they really widen your horizon, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're limited to something, first when I started, I was limited only to the women issues. And as we discussed yesterday, that it was, but as soon, when I got sort of, when I came across these anthologies, and the poets coming together and writing poems and asking you to contribute your poem, and they have their own prompts. So those prompts are very important, and it really sort of make you think what you can write.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, beyond your, maybe, there are something, there are beautiful prompts, I should say, and though these prompts really encourage you to write a good poem.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you may be successful, sometimes you may not be successful, but I have contributed both in Hindi, like Hindustani, I should say, Hindi and English anthologies both.
Okay. Okay. So, when you contribute to anthologies, is that how easy or difficult it is for you to get a feedback? Finally, each poet or an author needs a feedback because that is the oxygen. So, how do you get a feedback when you have
See,
contributed?
like, if you're really contributing to a good anthology with good, poets, and if you're, and if your submission, whatever you have submitted, naturally, if you are there in the anthology, it's a good. I mean, it's a feedback in itself that you are a part of anthology. You have not been rejected. You have been
Mm.
accepted by.
Mm.
So that is one thing, and. Yeah, you get, like, if there is these mostly like we do for our literary circle, we, as I told you before,
Mm.
also literary warrior group, we have anthologies, and I have been the editors. So what we do is we invite the poets, on our program, on our platform, and we sort of read out poems, and this is the way we get the feedback for the anthology, for the anthology as a whole, I should say, and how it and it all depends. It all depends upon the perspective of person. You may sometime like my poem, you may sometime not like my way of writing. So it is all very personal.
Okay, okay. So now coming to your books that you have published, I think there are three books so far that you have published. The first one was Mend My Broken Wings, second was Echoes of Eternity, and third one is
And
The Pocketful of Limericks.
limericks.
Yes. So maybe if you can talk about these three books, talk to explain to our viewers so that they will also understand more about it.
Yes, sir. You want me to speak about it?
Yeah.
As I told you, yes, my first book, that is Mend My Broken Wings. The poems which I have started writing much before my career, I should say, as a poet. I never thought myself that I don't consider myself as a poet, but these are only my thoughts, which I have sort of jotted down or written, and then in the form of a poem. So my first, my Mend My Broken Wing is more raw, I should say. It is more on social issues
Okay.
related, very sensitive. Some of the poems are really very sensitive in it. Whatever I have seen, whatever I have watched, seen, or read, and whatever happens in our society, I've tried to write about that. So those are my that was my first one. And the second one, Echoes of Eternity, is more, you can call it as a structured one, with proper rhyming scheme, rhythm, meter, and verses, how it should be a poem, the way it should be. It is not a free flow. Some of them may be free verse, but the others are more in the form of verses. And my third is this one, A Pocket Full of Limericks. If you can see here,
Yes, we can see.
it's
Beautiful
visible. Yes.
cover. Yes.
Yeah. This is, and it's a nice coloring, a nice uh,
Mm-hmm.
with the pictures, with the
Yes.
visuals. And this one, you asked me that question, that a teacher and a poet. So here I'm trying to teach something in this one.
Okay.
In this one, I really want to tell our viewers, parents, students, and everyone, that they should always start with limericks.
Mm-hmm.
Limericks are very easy to write.
Mm-hmm.
They are very humorous, and it is a sort of a, you can say that limericks, anybody can write a limerick, because it has a rhyming scheme, a very rhyming, easy rhyming scheme. A, so like I have written, Jill Scott, according to Jill Scott, I think the first time I really heard poetry was in schoolyard. Just the little limericks that kids say when they're jumping rope and playing games. I think that's the I think that's the first time I heard rhyming words. I don't know if I would call that the definitive poetry, but that's when I heard rhyming verse said, and not necessarily sung. They are not sung, but they are read. So this is what the limericks is all about.
Mm-hmm.
So these are limericks.
Mm-hmm.
So may I read any? Do you want me to read?
Yeah, I think that will be good. If you can read couple of your limericks, viewers would be motivated to buy the book also.
Okay, my book is available on Amazon. They are you'll have both, like the paper bag also, and hardcover also.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just read one of the limericks. See this. I'll be reading out this
Okay.
one. A boy named Lee, pampered by his mother, was he. He rolled on the floor and banged his head on the door, and out popped his brain for all to see. So you can see his brain all
Hmm,
popped
hmm,
out.
hmm, hmm,
So these are just, for
hmm, hmm,
fun,
hmm.
for maybe for kids. One more I'll read out to
Yeah.
you. This
Yeah.
one. A zebra married a doe
Mhm.
and wanted her to wear stripes for a show. She did not yield to his demand and refused his command and ran away with his dear Joe. Dear, D, yes. So
Very.
here it is, this one. So these are our, small funny limericks you will find,
Hmm,
and all funny one with all the animals, and
hmm, hmm,
it is for, it is, you can say, everybody can read them.
hmm.
From crayons to bifocal eyesight, from crayons, I mean, from children to everybody. It is a good read for everyone. It's a little costlier, I should say. This
Mhm.
one is for 850, the paperback one, and the hardcover is 1,000 rupees.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm sure it's worth reading.
Oh, yes. I think the way you have recited, definitely it is worth reading. And what has been the feedback for the book? How has it been received? What comments you have received?
Yeah, the feedback here, I have put many, the feedback was really very good. I should say for pop, and especially for A Pocket Full of Limericks. People, they really loved it.
Mm.
It was really good.
Okay.
But as I told you, I did not have a chance to promote my book as
Mm,
such.
mm,
I
mm,
mean, it was only available for friends whom I could tell them about,
mm, mm.
and it was available, and the feedback was really good.
Okay. Okay. So one question that I wanted to ask you is that why did you select this particular genre? Why limericks?
This is what limericks, they are much easier, as I told you,
Mm,
and easier and more funnier,
mm, mm, mm,
because my two books, the first
mm.
one was
Yeah.
very serious,
Yes.
as I told you before,
Yeah.
meant to my broken wings, and the second one, it was
Mm,
also very serious. So I
mm,
wanted something,
mm,
it
mm.
should be like, nonsense, like,
Okay. Okay.
yes, enough nonsense to keep things interesting,
Mm, mm,
to keep people interesting, so
mm,
that they may buy my book.
mm,
So both side of, of my, whatever I am, my
mm,
nature, maybe
mm,
you can call it as the
mm,
serious one, and the jolly good fellow. I'm a jolly good fellow person.
mm, mm, mm,
So you can see through my books, like this one also, and the first two one were very
mm,
serious. So
mm,
really, I thought that something, I should come up with something
mm.
different now.
That is very interesting, is that it actually truly depicts your personality from a serious poet to a light-hearted one. And
Yeah, yes, a light-hearted one, yes.
that is very important, is that you should not
And
be.
not all poetries should be serious,
Yes.
they should be fun. Yeah, they
Yeah.
should be fun to read also, comical ones.
Yeah. 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 And that you truly represent through your books of poets.
Thank you.
So next logical question is that what next? So in next 24 months, what should we expect from you?
One more, maybe one more, I should say, a collection of poems only.
Hmm.
But yeah, in English only. But Hindi, I'm planning Hindi and Urdu also.
Okay.
I write Urdu. My
Hmm.
mother, she was a Urdu teacher,
Okay.
and I'm really inspired. And I write in Urdu also, not
Hmm.
very pure Urdu, I should say Hindustani, you can call it
Okay.
as. So I have written some poems in Urdu and Hindi, so I may come up with that, because I don't have enough, maybe 30 or 35 I have just now. So for a,
Hmm.
a poetry book, I should have at least 40, 45,
Yeah.
so it can be published. So I'm
Hmm.
planning, and maybe one more um, poetry collection of poems, maybe.
Okay. Okay. So there is a lot that we should expect from you in next 24 months.
Yeah, maybe, inshallah.
Inshallah. So, one question I wanted to ask you, maybe I should have asked you it as a first question itself, is that between writing a poem and writing a story or a novel, do you think today in India poets get that much recognition that they should get as compared to those who write novels or short stories?
Yes, we do no poems. Not many are poem lovers in India. Let me be very frank with you. We don't people like people don't consider them as writers, I suppose. Okay, poetry, maybe it's your personal passion, you're pursuing it, it's all right. But yes, with right, if you are a novelist, then people take you seriously. If you're a short story writer, also story writers are also, they are taken seriously. But I don't think so the poets are taken very seriously in India. And we have really good poets coming up
Hmm. So
in
that is.
English, in Urdu, in Hindi, in all, if you see. And there are a lot of talented ones coming up.
Mhm. But I find that very surprising in a way because what a poem describes in maybe 10 lines, a novel will take 100 pages to actually describe it.
Yeah, that is what really. And see, poetry is an art, of course. It's an art, and it requires that kind of understanding also.
Right?
Not everybody wants to, and people don't understand. I'm not judging anyone. So,
Hmm.
but it's very difficult for them to make them understand. And
Hmm.
sometimes what you want to write and what they perceive is
Hmm.
totally different.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that is very important.
Hmm. But you think there is some change or it continues to be the way it was earlier period?
Yes, there has been change. I told you during the COVID time, many
Hmm.
people they started writing, and there were many poets also. Like
Hmm.
people started experimenting also at that
Hmm.
time.
Hmm.
And but now with AI,
Hmm.
now people, I have seen there are so many AI poets on the
Hmm.
Facebook, and you can really make it out the way
Hmm.
they are writing it.
Hmm.
You guys, AI language is totally different from the
Hmm.
human language.
Hmm.
People, they don't know this. They think, oh, like we cannot make it out, but it is very easy to make out the
Hmm.
AI poetries and the
Hmm.
poem which you have written. Your
Hmm. Hmm.
creativity is totally different from AI.
Hmm.
So now things are changing, and people are more depending on AI. And I
Hmm.
suppose there will be no difference between AI and poets now.
Hmm.
It will really do much harm in the
Hmm.
future.
Hmm.
These
Hmm.
AI apps, they are
Hmm.
really
Hmm. Hmm.
Chat
Hmm.
GPT, and people, they think it's very easy to take out things from Chat GPT. And
Hmm.
yeah, where it is required. See, I'm not
Hmm.
this these beautiful pictures you can see here.
Hmm. Hmm.
What I did was, whatever the poems I have written, whatever the limericks I have written,
Hmm.
I told my Chat GPT to, take out
Hmm.
the visuals and pictures, and it
Hmm.
did that only.
Hmm. Hmm.
But writing poems
Hmm.
through AI, through Chat GPT, that
Hmm.
is wrong. You should, your creativity should not be, and I'm not claiming it to be my pictures. They
Hmm.
are, and and everybody can make it out. They are
Hmm.
all, they're Chat GPT visuals.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this is a difference.
Hmm.
So it's very important that people should be more creative.
Hmm.
And of course, in writing, if you're writing a prose, if you're writing a novel, and then if you want some suggestions or something, I mean, correction for your grammar, or not
Hmm.
everybody is good in grammar.
Hmm.
People
Hmm.
make a lot of grammatical mistakes.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
you can
Hmm.
use AI,
Hmm.
but not for writing. Just
Hmm.
don't write the prompt, and
Hmm.
then you want
Hmm.
them to sort of write
Hmm.
everything for
Hmm.
you.
So AI should be your assistant and not the master.
Yeah, yes. It should be your servant, and you should be the master to it.
So
But
idea
vice
yeah.
versa is happening these days.
I hope that over a period people will realize that, and hopefully things will change for better in future. So
Yes.
Vaida, we also have as part of the show a rapid fire round, And
Okay, 1 minute, sir. Excuse me, just this is, I need to put this. Sorry, sir.
so
Yes, sir.
we also have a rapid fire round as part of the show, and I'm very sure that you are going to enjoy the rapid fire round and being in the hot seat.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Great. So should we begin?
Yes, sir.
Yes. The first question. If you were not a teacher, complete the sentence.
I would be maybe a housewife.
Housewife. Okay. Then your favorite poet,
My favorite poet, Robert Frost.
Robert Frost, and the favorite poem.
Um, I can just a few lines
Oh yes.
from the poem.
Yeah.
Woods are lovely, dark and deep,
Oh,
but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep and miles to go before I sleep.
fantastic. One of the best.
Yes.
Poets by nature are, complete the sentence.
Uh, our poet by nature are free, they are wild, they are spontaneous, and they are pure.
Fantastic. Choose one. Since you write blogs also, choose one. Blogs or limericks?
Limericks.
Limericks. Fantastic. You won the rapid fire round 10 out of 10.
Okay, thank you.
So that brings us to end of the show. Thank you, Vaida, for sharing your inspiring journey, as also sharing your thoughts on writers and poets from small towns, the way they are progressing, the encouragement that they need, as also your thoughts on AI. I think that is something which was very important because we all should realize this aspect that AI should be your servant and not the master. So thank you so much for coming on the show. Before we sign off, don't forget that submissions for the Pillars the Future close on 15 July and entries are open for Kala Literature Awards 2027. The recording of today's conversation will soon be available on the Kala YouTube channel. Our earlier conversations are also available on the Kala YouTube channel at Sanjay Chandra 5376. Thank you for joining us today in an interesting
Thank you to you,
conversation.
and I'm really honored. I'm really honored to be on the show, the Kala show, and thank you to Sir also for
Yeah,
inviting me. He was the one, Chandra sir. He was the one who invited me,
yeah,
and
yeah.
thank you to you. You have been such a wonderful host. Thank you, Vardhan sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening and good night. And keep reading and keep giving feedback to the authors who appear on the show.
Sure, sure, sir. Sure, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.